If you thought that Raising Dion Season 2 was a wild ride, then you would really want to hear this. It is expected that Netflix will renew the series for another season, and most likely, we'll see Dion's magical superhero powers in early 2023 once again. Waiting for the second season felt like an eternity, but we all believe that it won't take long this time. Recap. In the past 5 years, everywhere you turn, there is a new television series or feature movie starring a superhero. However, Raising Dion is a bit different from the usual superhero series. Dion is just a 7-year-old boy, and the story is focusing more on his mother Nicole and her attempts to raise this supernatural kid. While in the meantime, he is saving the world. The story follows single mom Nicole as she struggles with raising her 7-year-old son Dion, following the death of her husband Mark. Nicole not only has to deal with the racial hardships of bringing up an African-American child in today's America, but she also has the uniquely difficult task of raising a child who develops superpowers. Dion begins developing abilities including telekinesis, teleportation, levitation, invisibility, healing, and more. He sees these powers as cool and fun and gives himself the superhero name the Mind Mover. Season 2 finds Dion fully embracing the superhero life. Dion is splitting his time between elementary school and patrolling the streets of his neighborhood as his alter ego Mind Mover. He made a team with his friends Esperanza and Jonathan named the Triangle of Justice. Their main goal is to keep order in the neighborhood. Dion doesn't fight criminals, but he does social work. Tevin is in charge to train him to control his powers, but nothing is forever, so neither does peace. Crooked Man is back and he is more powerful than ever. He has taken a hold of Brayden and started using him to manipulate people's minds. After Brandon joins Dion's school, he is showing his powers to Dion and he is amazed. But soon after, he realizes that Brayden is different. Biona will discover many sinkholes across the country, the same as the one that was formed after Dion's fight against the Crooked Man. Pat realizes that sinkholes carry the same nature power. These spores attach to a person and turn them into a zombie. These zombies will be Crooked Man's army against the young superhero.
Okay.
Release date. Netflix hasn't confirmed the third season yet, but based on its massive global viewership, it is expected that we'll hear something very soon. There are so many untold stories and so many unanswered questions, so the rumors are saying that it is possible to have a release date in early 2023. There is one concern though. Raising Dion's social media accounts is very quiet lately, and that is not the case with Netflix shows, especially after the show's release on the streaming platform. This doesn't really mean anything since Season 2 was watched over 100 million hours on Netflix globally in the first 26 days after the release. The show was on top of the Netflix view charts for more than 1 month. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the second season was heavily delayed. Let's hope that won't happen with the third one. Cast. The show's cast is trying to keep the fans active on social media. Sammy Haney wrote on Twitter, "How do we get a Raising Dion Season 3? The Raising Dion kids provide the answer." In this tweet, there is a video of many of the Raising Dion actors who are trying to explain how we can get the third season. So, in Season 3, obviously, we'll see Josiah Young as Dion and Alisha Wainwright as his mother, Nicole Warren. In the Season 2 finale, the Triangle of Justice was still very strong. Esperanza and Jonathan King come out from the battle with evil Brayden without a scratch, so it is very likely that we'll see Sammy Haney and Gavin Munn in the next season. Nicole was very close to hitting that like button and subscribing if you haven't done so already. No, really, she was close to creating a romantic life for the first time after her husband's death. Yes, with Dion's coach Tevin Wakefield. So it is very possible that we'll see Flynn as Tevin again. Luckily, we didn't lose the main characters in Season 2, which means the return of Ali An as Biona Suzanne Wu, Jasmine Simon playing Auntie Cat, and Janelle is very possible. While we're done with the good guys, we didn't forget about Crooked Pat's return. He's getting new powers that have to be explored. First look. The show was produced by Michael B. Jordan's Outlier Society, and now it keeps the fans hooked as there are rumors about a new season. The production for Season 2 took 4 months, and post-production took around 9 months. So if the third season follows this path, we might see it in early 2023. Raising Dion is not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the DC. but it is based on a comic that came out in 2015. The comic book was written by Dennis Liu and illustrated by Jason Piperberg. In the comic book, it is presented that Mark was the only person that got superpowers from the solar storm, as he and Nicole were close to the place where the storm hit the ground. With this comic book, Dennis Liu had an idea to make a new spin on superhero stories, and we must admit, he succeeded. But what can we expect in Season 3? Would that be a face-off between Pat and Dion? We'll definitely see Dion gaining understanding of his gifts, while on the other hand, Pat does the same. Now, we are not really sure if we want to see Mark back. I mean, we'll never forget him, but Nicole and Tevin are a pretty lovely couple. So if Mark appears again, will there be room for him? Brayden is unused potential, and his story is definitely not finished. But will he become a reliable friend to Dion? Will he use his mind manipulation powers for good? We'll see. Plot details. As we said before, there are a lot of unanswered questions after the second season, so let's start from the beginning. Is Mark still alive? Mark's story is a little bit confusing. At the end of the first season, Mark's words were "energy never dies," so we all expected to see him in the second season as well. We all thought that Dion will search for a way to bring his father back, but he is still alive in some form, isn't he? He didn't die, but he was absorbed by the Crooked Man. He appears during the fight against the Crooked Man in the Season 1 finale and reminds his son that energy can't be created nor destroyed. So this leaves the door open for his return in the new season. At the beginning of Season 2, we saw a little surprise. Pat Rollins returns back. But how? What happened? How is he still alive? Well, there is no detailed explanation of how Pat survived his encounter with Dion, but we hope that Season 3 will fill these gaps. We are more than sure that Brayden's story will continue. He is a scared, lonely boy who lost both parents and doesn't have anyone to speak kindly to him. So the Crooked Man uses this to manipulate Brayden and use his powers. However, he succeeded to break free of the Crooked Man's influence and help Dion. There is still a lot to be seen from this character. The third season could move around the Crooked Energy, Pat, David, and the Evil Army. When we speak about the possible new season, we all think about Pat and Dion's encounter. So yes, that will be the main threat. We might also see Nicole's work in Energy and Biona's research facility. And finally, we'll probably see Dion's transition into a teenager and all the problems that come with that. On a related note, tell us down in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the previous season? Do you expect that Mark will appear again? What are your expectations? And what are your theories? Which characters that haven't been mentioned should appear? And what are your suggestions? If you liked the video, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you'll never miss our next videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.